1, 2, check. Good morning. This is the kickoff of the public briefing for Hurricane Laura. I'm Brian Beam, Calcasieu Parish Administrator. We are here at the Calcasieu Parish Emergency Operations Center downtown. And this will be our final briefing before expected landfall late today of Hurricane Laura. I think everybody knows by now we got some bad news as far as the intensity. This storm, which was already forecast to be a Category 3 now, the weather reports are actually upping that, and I'm going to have Dick Grimion come up in a moment. But we will have a few speakers. There are still things going on and some messages for the public even at this late hour. But with an update on the weather and also impacts to our area in terms of wind, storm surge, and rain, I'm going to ask Dick Grimion, Emergency Preparedness Director, to update us.
Thank you, Brian. As Brian said, we don't really have any good news on the weather. They're now predicting even a higher storm surge. The wind is going to be increased, is forecast to go to a Category 4, but actually at the high end of the Category 3, low 4 scale is really the same type of damage. And there's potential, particularly for people should not be in mobile homes, travel trailers, or anything like that at this time. The storm surge, just as a comparison, now calling for 3 to 4 feet higher probably than Hurricane Rita. So people who live in those areas should know what that means. They should have already been gone. If you haven't gone, we'd certainly ask you to leave now. I want to say one thing about Cameron Parish. I talked to the director there, Danny Laverne. He's very concerned that all of the people in Cameron Parish have not left yet. You still have time to go. If you check the Weather Service forecast, all of Cameron is in peril of high storm surge. So again, just a message from Director Laverne and Cameron Parish. As Brian said, the tropical storm winds will be building this afternoon. You still have time to leave. If you have not left yet, we suggest that you reconsider that and leave. You can always come back to your property tomorrow, the next day, or a few days from now. But if you get hurt, just as a reminder, during the peak of the storm, we're not going to be able to come help you. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Brian. Or actually, Teresa, do you have any questions?
Apparently, our feed started a little bit late. If there was anything right off the top you said that you want to reiterate, it might be a good idea.
I just repeated what Brian said about the weather. The forecast has not gotten any better. In fact, it's gotten worse. The prediction is for a higher storm surge and higher winds. So if you haven't made preparations to leave, now would be a good time. You've got several hours to leave town. And we suggest if you have not left yet, you really reconsider the decision that you've made to stay. I'll turn it back over to Brian.
We'll hear from a few of our elected officials at this time, and we'll lead off with Calcasieu Parish Police Jury President Tony Gilry.
Thank you, Brian. And as we come to you again today, we're asking you, please, if you have not left yet, please do so soon. And if you're going to stay, please have some necessities with you, such as water and other essential things. We are closely monitoring the storm, and we are doing everything we can to the best. We will continue to work hard as long as the storm is here and for the safety of everyone. Again, asking everyone, if you have not left, please be safe and everything. May God bless. Thank you. And next, the Mayor, Mr. Nick Hunter.
Thank you, President Guillory. Ladies and gentlemen, if there was an hour in between the 11th and the 12th, I think that we are right there. I want to recap the amazing work that has been done over the last 24, 36 hours, coordinating with the City of Lake Charles, Sheriff's Department, the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury, State of Louisiana National Guard. We have offered many options for our citizens to evacuate if they were willing to do so. We have pled with people recently, get out of town. The mandatory evacuation was obviously ordered, and short of going to people's homes and pulling them out of their homes, I truly believe we have done everything humanly possible to get people out of Lake Charles and out of Calcasieu Parish. Just as a reminder, both yesterday and in fact even this morning, for those who did not have the means, we had bus transportation running from locations throughout the parish and in Lake Charles, bringing them to Burton Coliseum, where they were evacuated to safety. Again, we are at that moment in time where every moment, every minute that you waste contemplating, debating, having some type of internal discussion with yourself about whether you should leave, that's a moment in time, that's a minute wasted. There is still time, but that window is closing so rapidly. If you are in Lake Charles or Calcasieu Parish right now, and you have the means to do it, get on the road and get out of town. It is rapidly approaching a moment where it's not going to be safe for public safety to get out on the road. If you have the means to do so, get out of town. As much as it pains me to say this, we are quickly getting to a point where if you have not evacuated, you are going to have to hunker down. And again, there is going to be a period of time where even though the desire is there, and the sheriff eloquently states this better than me, but even though the desire might be there, public safety is not going to be able to respond. to you and your family. If you do choose to get on the road in the next couple hours, please make use of some great apps. The Waze app, DOTD has an app, 511. We are hearing that roadways are relatively calm at the moment, and so if traffic or backed up traffic is something you're concerned about, take a look at these apps, and that will probably put some of your concerns to rest. I have visited this morning and yesterday with some of these individuals, but specifically this morning, I visited with our congressional delegation, and I expressed to them the seriousness of the situation. They understand that, and I believe that they're going to have our backs, and they have had our backs. Same for the governor of Louisiana. I've spoken with him multiple times last night and this morning. The governor is very concerned about Lake Charles and Southwest Louisiana, and he's been working with us hand in hand. We expect catastrophic events from this storm. Let me say this, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong that this is not a Rita-like scenario. But unless you have your head in the sand right now, the expectations and the forecast is for this to be a catastrophic event for Lake Charles and Southwest Louisiana. We are a resilient community. We love our neighbors. We love our brothers and our sisters that we consider our neighbors. I mean, we consider our neighbors our brothers and our sisters here, and you see the greatest aspects of Southwest Louisiana during a natural disaster. We're resilient. We are going to help each other get through this, but I also want to say, if this is like Rita, we're going to need our American brothers and sisters to help us. We are going to need federal support and state support to get through this over the coming days and weeks. Thank you. Any questions?
Yesterday, you all were saying that you thought noon was probably the point by which you should have left or you should stay. Do you want to adjust that time at all?
I'm not qualified enough to give a specific moment in time this afternoon when it's too dangerous to get on the road. 40-mile-per-hour winds is when public safety is not getting on the road. People don't need to worry about noon or 1 o'clock. They need to get on the road right now. If they're hearing me talking, they need to get on the road right now.
Do you know how many people you sent north in buses?
I don't have those numbers.
And do you have any advice for people who are heading north but have no idea where they might be able to stay? Do you know anything about places that are perhaps opening north where people could go?
Well, if you're asking about North Louisiana, I don't, but I know that the state of Louisiana is providing some safe locations. There are some hotel rooms that are blocked off and available in East Louisiana, so there are some options there for people. But if you're asking specific about North Louisiana, I don't have any direct information about that.
Should they call 211, or is there any particular number they can call if they're on the road, say, a couple hundred miles from here and, can't find a place to stay?
Sure. 211 is an excellent resource that's administered by the United Way of Southwest Louisiana. And if you call 211, you will speak with someone in real time, and they can connect you with services you need. Thank you. And I think Sheriff Tony Mancuso is coming up next. Sheriff.
Thank you, Mayor. I know that Chief Whitehead from DeQuincy asked that he does not feel like a lot of people from DeQuincy have heeded the warning. They may think that they're up north. They're not going to have to worry about it. They're in no danger. They probably are in no danger of flooding, like some south of Interstate 10 and near our rivers and our streams. But they certainly are in trouble for snapping pine trees and oak trees. And I know the mayor's here with me right now, and he's shaking his head yes. Don't think just because you live that far north that you're going to be safe. We're asking you, all we can do is feed you the information that we know and what we feel is best for our community. And I can't go in any more passionately than the mayor just did about our views and us thinking what you should do to get out. But we have met that time where it is time now to really reevaluate your situation and consider your personal safety and your family's personal safety more so in you wanting to either protect your home. I'm going to give you a hint. me nor any other police department or anybody else can save your home from the destruction that can happen during a storm like this. Okay? We can protect it from looting, and we're going to do that. Chief Caldwell's here, from the state police to the all the chiefs of police, myself. I can promise you we will take a zero stance on anybody breaking into anybody's homes or looting. We're going to have manpower out there more than normal. We're going to check our residences. We're going to check our businesses, and we are going to protect our community. So if that's your worry, I'm going to tell you, there's nothing at my house that is so important to me that I would stay in my own house right now. Me. I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to stay where I think safe. And I'll be honest with you, I would love to leave. That's not an option for me. It is an option for you. I want to leave, all right? I guarantee you. But I'm going to stay, but I'm going to stay where I believe I'm safe. I do not feel like I'm safe in my home. I have a generator at my home. That generator is not going to stop a tree from falling down on my home, or a tornado from flattening my home, or from wind breaking out my windows. I'm telling you, I don't feel safe in my home, and I feel like I have a pretty nice home. So I don't know what else we can say. I think, Nick, like you said, we've done everything we can to encourage you to do that. There will be a time, I don't know that exact time, but when the winds speeds a sustained wind of 40 miles or more, then we're certainly not going to be crossing any of our bridges anymore. We have plenty of deputies, plenty of policemen at the ready. I have plenty, I put in a request to Dick Grimion today. We're going to have plenty of National Guard the first moment that we can get them in. They're staged right outside. They're going to be here quickly. I have deputies from Jefferson Parish with their high water vehicles to augment our high water. I promise you we're going to be here and we're going to protect this community when it's safe to protect it. But there will be a time, sometime starting this evening, that we will not be able to help you. And I told you that last night. That breaks my heart. I can promise you there's not a police agency, an ambulance personnel, a hospital, anybody that doesn't just hit us in the pit of our stomach right now to sit here and tell you that there will be a point where we cannot get to you and help you. So God bless you if that's what you choose to do, but I feel like we've done everything. I know, Mayor, you asked about how many we've evacuated or how many have been bussed out, or Teresa, you did. I think around 800 so far. 600 to 800 people. I do have a number. I just today, I know there's lots of hotel rooms in the Dallas area still. So I made some of those. I looked on Priceline, and I made some calls today just so if people called our office, we would have answers for that. I can't promise you, but just get on, just start going, and you'll find I feel like you'll be able to find some place to go to the north of here, okay? Not maybe to the west or to the east, because a lot of people have fled that way already, but I think the north is a pretty good area you can go right now. Two numbers that you can call for our office is 431-8068 and 491-3685. These are for non-emergency questions that you may have. Let me tell you, let me put it really simple. We have done a lot of preparation. A lot. Your police departments, your OEP, fire, rescue, everybody. Right now, we're just going to be in protection mode from this point on. Protecting our assets, what we have. There'll be a lot of work that we have to do after the storm. But right now, we're in protection mode. And so relax. I know that's easy to say, but relax and have confidence in your leaders here. I told you, I've said it before, we know what we're doing, and we're gonna get the job done. So, Teresa?
If you could repeat those numbers one
Sure.
more time, and also, I'm getting a call or text from a viewer wanting to know which is going to be worse, the wind or the surge, and I know it depends on where you are.
Yes. The answer is yes, both will be bad. So neither one's better than the other. They can both kill you, and I think it's just going to be, a pretty bad punch in the nose, really and truly. 491-3685 is one number. 431-8068. Those for non-emergency questions that you may have, and we'll try to get you the answer to your question and get you some help if you need. Like I said, I don't know all the answers to where you can go up north, but I know that there's still plenty of hotel rooms in the Dallas area and that area, so it's not too late. It is not too late to get out right now, but it will be shortly. So, any other questions? Chief Caldwell, is there anything else maybe? Okay. All right. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it.
Well, we've heard from several of our elected officials, our operational folks. Everybody's been working on this for several days. And there is a point where, of course, you have to just hold tight wherever you are, but there's still a little time. As we wrap up, looking ahead a little bit, this is the final briefing, public briefing for now, pre-storm. It's hard to say when we're going to be able to do this again, but of course, as soon as we can after the storm, we will. I would encourage anybody, though, throughout this, from here on out, if you go to calcasiewparish.gov, that site, our website, has been transitioned to full focus on the emergency. So it may look a little different, but that way all the information you need to know will be on that site. Now, on the mobile version, if that's not quite there, it will be, but either way, that's a good site for information. Check your media outlets, and we will communicate as best we can through then. And if there's any statement to be released between now and the storm hitting, we will do that through electronic press releases. Thanks for your attention, and be safe. Thank you.